So I'm here to talk a little bit, when this gets on, about multimedia marketing and talking about being smart about the choices that we make. And one of my first points I'd like to make is we don't live in a one-dimensional world. I think as real estate professionals, we often get attracted to the newest, shiniest object and run in that direction as fast as we can, thinking that if we embrace that, everything will be wonderful. And there are advantages in embracing that, but we've also got to be smart when we think about shifting. None of us, nobody in this room, and none of our home buyers or sellers live in a one-dimensional world. We watch TV while we cruise the web. Some of us cruise the web in the back of the room while we're listening to the speakers up here this morning. We surf magazines and scan codes with smartphones, and we visit mobile websites. We use text not only to chat, interact with friends and family, but also to do our banking, for example. They plan their social events around Facebook and Twitter, and their career events around sites like LinkedIn. Their offline worlds and their online worlds in very many ways have collided, but they use both. They test experiences online as well as offline, and they're constantly searching. They're searching for homes in the case of the business that we're happen to be in, and sites like Realtor.com and Zillow and Trulia, as well as sites like we have, the realestatebook.com, are incredibly useful to them in that approach. But how do they get online? There's a number of ways they do it. Print, traditionally, is the number one driver of traffic to online. I'm going to show you some things here in a second which might surprise you about what some of the smartest online companies in the world are doing. Here's some online businesses that you might be familiar with. Zappos, which is a major retail shopping site, has recently launched a lifestyle magazine because all the research that they've done shows that offline is a huge driver of traffic to their online site. Google takes out billboards. Talk about offline media, you can't get much more offline than on the side of a highway. They do it because they know that offline influences behavior and drives traffic online. Burger King uses product placement on TV in addition to an incredibly aggressive social media campaign. Burger King uses TV, product placement, in order to remind people where to go the next time they're hungry. Major companies like Pepsi and Delta and AT&T and Ford Motor Company spend a significant amount of money at ballparks throughout the country, reminding people while they're sitting watching the game to check them out and remind them of who they are and what they do. Beazer Homes, one of the largest home builders in the country, which happens to be located in Atlanta, headquartered in Atlanta, uses old traditional media like the side of MARTA buses, our metro area rapid transit system, to remind local home buyers the next time they're looking for a home. Pretty interesting. Why would you walk away? As you think about your business, why would you walk away from any opportunity to connect with home buyers and home sellers in the physical world? Why leave that audience aside? Why leave it to somebody else? Because somebody else will surely go take advantage of it. This is a slide which I'm confident you cannot read in the back of the room, but it is, and I believe Matt said he's going to get copies of this to everybody, and it's gotten a fair amount of attention. And really what it just does, on the left-hand side, it talks about the various media that are available, and it talks about the strengths and weaknesses of each one. And each one has strengths and weaknesses. And so depending on what your marketing goals are, you might play one of these media, you might play all of them, you might choose some of them. But I would recommend that you not ignore any of them, because their opportunities for you to connect with home buyers and sellers really are pretty strong. So I'll just give you a couple of examples. The web. The web is easy to post and distribute listings to. Most of your listings now are syndicated through your MLS system probably, or through other marketing partners you have all over the country. It's really phenomenal. And it's free or nearly free. Weaknesses, however, are it's not a strong differentiator because everybody in this room, everybody along the Gulf Coast is doing the exact same thing. So how do you stand out? How do you differentiate yourself? Advertising and marketing has always been about creating a separation between you and everybody else. How do you do that online? There's a number of ways you can do it, but it's not quite so obvious. Local printed housing magazines like the Real Estate Book and others provide a tangible proof point, if you will, to the home seller that you're working hard for them. Each of these other media down here offer unique strengths and weaknesses. Let me go to direct mail for a moment. We talked about Google earlier taking out billboard ads, which does surprise some people because look at the power of that company in terms of influencing all of our lives. Google sends me direct mail to my home, trying to get me to take action on something online. They've paid a stamp, they paid somebody to write a letter, and sent me a direct mail piece. You may have received these kinds of things as well. They understand, if you meet with the people out in California or at their New York office, they understand when they think about media and marketing that integrated marketing has a 5 to 7-fold impact over just one-dimensional marketing. So if it's good enough for them, it just might be good enough for us. The next consideration, though, is what about the cost? We get the fact that integrated marketing works better, but isn't offline more expensive, and isn't online free or nearly so? I guess it depends what your marketing objectives are. And there was a speaker earlier that alluded to this, and I just wanted to amplify this point just a little bit. If your goal is just to build an audience, and that's where you put the end goal, there's no better approach than web marketing, because you will clearly build friends, followers, fans, and traffic to your website. But if your goal is actually to sell some homes, or list some homes, or develop a deeper connection, and actually create leads, targeted offline marketing remains a highly efficient system to do that. As long as it's targeted, it can be tremendously effective. So a lot of this depends upon what your goals are. Combining both online and offline into one integrated marketing plan is the ticket, in our opinion. Web marketing and lead generation are not the same. And I go to a number of these conferences, as I'm sure you do, and a lot of people, it's easy to get confused when we talk about web marketing and we talk about lead generation. I think we're in the lead generation game, not just in the web marketing game. Web marketing is search engine marketing, it's search engine optimization, it's social marketing, it's content marketing, and there's great tools. You're going to hear tons about those today, and we've got vendors outside that will be more than happy to talk to you about them, and there's some very cool things there. But lead generation is defined as when you actually have a personal conversation, whether that's in person, on the telephone, or via email, with somebody who is seriously in the market to do something that you can help them out with. That's where I think we should focus. The lead generation ROI, the return on investment, is basically calculate all of your spend against each marketing category you do. And then measure. Not measured on traffic, not measured on how many people have friended you or followed you, but measure it on leads. In particular, leads that have converted into some kind of monetary transaction for you, preferably. And then constantly test, load balance, and adjust and shift your marketing plan, moving fewer dollars away from what is not working for you and more dollars towards what is working for you. It's a constant kind of a thing. You should do it all year long. If you do that, you'll actually end up with, I think, the optimal plan for yourself. Integrated marketing is just plain better. It's just plain better. It's more effective. Your marketing and your advertising and investment, it should never cost you money. If you look at your marketing plan as a cost against your business instead of an investment in your business, then that's something to think about. Should never cost you money. It should always get a return. If it's not getting a return, you should really stop doing it. I want to end this morning with a invitation to you about a new program that we've launched. It's called Agents of Change. And you can find us on facebook.com/real estate agents of change. And we're featuring real estate agents from all over the country that have done extraordinary things with an integrated marketing approach. And we've got the site's been live for about a month now, maybe 6 weeks. And there's some very, very compelling stories on there of agents from California to New England down to the Southeast that have done some very cool things with an integrated marketing approach. And they're pretty specific on there about exactly what they've done and how they've done it. So we invite you to join in on the conversation, and we appreciate, Matt, I appreciate the time here this morning.